Hello students, today we are going to consider advanced grammar section and in that we'll be covering, that means active and passive voice you would be well familiar with. So voice, it suggests about the doer. Okay, there are two voices, active voice and passive voice. Here we're going to discuss about the passive. The process of passing over the subject element to the object and vice versa is known as passivization. During this grammatical process, many changes in structure and meaning takes place, and this lesson would help us in becoming familiar with the important and advanced concept of passivization. So we begin with, firstly we should know that the passive is often used in official, technical, scientific communication. It is impersonal, that means it is completely formal mode of communication. One thing we need to keep in mind, that a passivization always has a basic form of helping verb be and plus main verb third form, that is participle form of the main verb in the active voice. So this format we will observe in any of the passive sentence, passive example. So let's come up with various uses of passive. The first, when the agent is not important or not known. In that case, say, I'll begin with the example, you can't do anything about it. Here, you or one is a common subject. When we don't have a specific subject, we denote it with a general pronoun. So, for such active, the passivization is nothing can be done about it. Again I repeat, you can't do anything about it. Nothing can be done about it. So do, its passivization is be done. The next example we have we or people. It's a general noun. We use electricity for all kinds of purposes. So during passivization, we or people is a general noun and it does not require during passivization. So we simply begin with electricity is used for all kinds of purposes. So we see the change in the verb. Is used as be plus verb third form. We see the past participle of used and the be, the suitable form of be, that is present. One more thing I would like to introduce you, that whatever is the form of helping verb in the active, the same tense form will be recurred in the passive. The next example we have, they are building some new houses. Again, they are is a common, it's a general noun and it is well understood. So we do not to suppose it when passivizing. So we can have some new houses are being built. Again I will repeat, they are building some new houses. Some new houses are being built. We have to take care of the verb transformation, passivization of verb. Now to describe industrial or scientific processes, as we said, passivization is completely impersonal mode of communication. So we use this in any professional or scientific communication or processes, describing processes. Example here, I have taken the passive directly. The ore is usually dug out. So is dug, it's passive. The statement is a scientific idea. The paint is then pumped into a large tank. where it is thinned. So these are two clauses. The paint is then pumped and it is thinned. Both are process. If sulfur is heated, a number of changes can be seen. So is heated and can be seen. They are the passive structures. We come to the next. To describe any historical or social processes. So such passives look like this. A new political party was formed. If you form the active, it will be they formed a new political party. So the helping verb in the passive, it suggests you grammatically what was or what it would have been in the active. So another passive, you see, thousands of new homes have been built. A lot of money is given to help the hungry. So this is the social processes, and when you describe social processes, you have passivized the sentence. We see the next use during official rules or official procedures. A few passive sentences we see. The service is provided under contract. This book must be returned to the library by the date above. Applications should be made in writing. We have to especially take care of the verb forms that we are passivizing. Then we see various changes in the tenses, changes in the tense forms and aspects in the passive. We see here simple tenses. We have a passive sentence. Large numbers of people are killed. So on the roads, the drugs were found by the police. The simple passives, once again I repeat you, when we passivize, the main verb takes the past participle form and it is preceded by a helping form, a suitable form of be. Here we are using are. The drugs were found by the police. This is the passive, and active would be police found the drug. So in simple tenses, either in present or in past simple, this would be the format. Then the perfect. I have only taken the passives. Cocaine. Cocaine has been seized by the FBI. The drugs had been loaded onto the ship in Ecuador. Now we see the continuous forms. The case ing changes into being, and the main verb again it takes the third form, or we say the past participle form, and it is preceded by a be form, a suitable form of be. The case is being called. 3 men were being questioned. Now we see the transformation of the future indicators will and the be going to forms. Both are future indicators, will and be going to. The drugs will be destroyed. The men are going to be charged with importing cocaine. Now negative say, if you transform the same in the negative, the drugs were not found. Were found, if the negative is, the drugs were not found by the customs officers. The law hasn't been changed. The has not been changed. See, the negative affixes to has or have, and been is a suitable form of be, and the main verb changes into past participle. So the law hasn't been changed. So if it is an interrogative sentence, the passive will be where were the drugs found? Or see the interrogative again, has the law been changed? So we always see the main verbs taking past participle form. So this is a present perfect sentence. Now we study the passivizations of models. We see the structure here, passivization structure. Then it will take a suitable form of be, and as usual the main verb will have passive participle. In general, it is past participle, third form of whatever the main verb. Example, the stamps can be bought at any post office. Can is a modal word. You see, the verb does not change. The immediate verb after the modal, it never changes. And the main verb is passivized verb, that is, its passive participle. Animals should really be seen in their adverbs come between the modal and the helping verb. Animals should really be seen in their natural habitat. Meals have to be prepared every day. Many things that used to be done by hand are now done by machine. We further see the examples here. They say that elephants have good memories. It is said. So they are the reporting verbs, say, tell, and they have this kind of, okay, one more thing. When there is a pronoun, when a general pronoun, non-specific pronoun, they say, it is said, it is said. So if it is a common statement, if it is general statement, for example, they say elephants have good memories, then it can be passivized, it is said, because this is a statement, it's a saying. So any saying or thought, for example, say honesty is the best policy, that can be passivized as it is said that honesty is the best policy. So you simply passivize the introductory verb and the other part of the clause remains as it is. We see here they remain unchanged. You can also passivize it as elephants are said to have good memories. Now the next example we can see here. The army was reported to be crossing the frontier. The prisoner is known to have behaved violently. Now the committee agreed to support the idea. It was agreed to support the idea. For this, for the passives we see for infinite, that is two verbs. Police advised drivers to use an alternative route. So to use, the terrorists made the hostage lie down. The hostages were made to lie down. We have to also take care of the notion of the sentence. It should never be wrong. Active participle. Let's see some example in active participle. The detective saw the woman putting the jewelry in her bag. We passivize, the woman was seen putting the jewelry in her bag. So saw changes into was seen. The officials kept us waiting for half an hour. We see the passivization. We were kept waiting for half an hour. By the officials is not necessary. Someone saw him running away. Someone saw him run away. So let's see both the sentences. He was seen running away. Someone saw him running away. He was seen running away. So one saw him run away. He was seen to run away. Someone saw him run away. He was seen to run away. So here we are using infinitive form to make the passive. Interrogative, the passives of interrogative and imperative sentences. In questions starting with a question words, the passive voice begins with the same question word. For example, do you bake cakes here? Are the cakes baked here? What are you eating? What is being eaten? So ing changes into being, and the present tense remains present by is. Here we need is as subject verb concurred. Who wrote this letter? So who changes into by whom. Was this letter written by? We shall reflect the tense and then third form. Then we come to the sentences which have two objects, direct and indirect. So the passivization we need to follow here. For example, we take, my husband gave me this ring. So after the verb, the first object is me and the second object is this ring. But we see the direct object here. The direct object is one which directly makes a sense, a reference with the verb, and an indirect object is one which does not directly relate to the verb, and if omitted that object, it won't change the sense of the sentence. So my husband gave this ring, it can do. We would like to begin with this ring. This ring was given to me by my husband, or I was given this ring by my husband. My husband gave this ring to me. So me or to me, it doesn't make any. So this ring was given to me, or I was given this ring by my husband. So this is necessary ideas in passivization you need to become familiar with. Thank you.